Hello everyone and welcome to another guide, quite a straightforward one actually, all about the Thermia Fractures event and Diluted Thermia resource. Thermia Fractures is an event going on in Warframe every few weeks in the Orvalis on Venus. For this event I recommend you to take your best weapons and if you can, have one modded for viral and electricity damage and the other one for radiation damage. The first one is going to be used against the human Corpus and the robotics, and the other one is going to be used for the arachnoids. If the actual event is going on, you will see it by opening your star chart and checking the leftmost symbol in the upper right corner. We will check the event rewards later, but just to let you know, if you don't complete the event in one cycle, you can continue in the next one because your progress is actually saved. And you also get the rewards only once, so don't sell your Optic or Vandal or something. But yeah, let's continue. When the event is going on, the Orvalis will be littered with Thermia Fractures, geysers of yellowish liquid that is actually quite dangerous, but not for you. What you need to do is close them up, but to do so you will need to find some coolant canisters, which is pretty easy to find. Coolant canisters are dropped from coolant arachnoids, following the exploiter orb, which is usually around the Temple of Graphet. When you have the canisters, find one of the fractures and put the coolant canister in it. You may put up to 4 canisters into a fracture, but this will make it a bit more difficult for you, so if you're not able to eliminate many Corpus at once, be sure to not do that. We will go over the difficulties later. Every Thermia fracture will take you from 3 minutes if you have 1 coolant canisters in it, to 5 minutes and a half if you have all 4. The objective now is only one thing: protect the canisters until the extraction of Thermia is done. When done, the canisters will be filled up to 1/4 of its capacity, which means you have to fill 4 in total. So if you bring 4 canisters, you will at the end get only 1 full canister. You will get 1 diluted Thermia when a canister is full. And for example, if you bring 3, you will get only 1 with 3/4 of Thermia in it. I am not sure why, but the canisters combine as well, so if you bring 3 for example, and fill them up, you get 3/4 of Thermia, and then you get just 1, that 3/4 one, into one other fracture, you then get a full one. I am not sure why, but this is just how it works. You will get 1 diluted Thermia when a canister is full. You may ask yourself what the diluted Thermia is actually for, and to keep it brief, it is required for a boss fight against the exploiter orb. A very important tip to give you here as well is that you can also get double the amount of diluted Thermia if you have a double resource booster or the Vaska Kavat. Okay, now let's talk about the difficulty we mentioned before. The difficulty is depending on only one thing: the amount of canisters in a fracture. The events that could happen are known as burps. They happen consistently while you defend the canisters, so you really need to watch out. If you have only 1 canister in the fracture, you will from time to time get some more Eximus units around you, or the fracture may briefly spawn a sudden nullifier bubble, disrupting your abilities. If you have 2 canisters inside the fracture, the enemy alert level may be increased, and from time to time there might also be some thermic arachnoids attacking you, which do some heat damage and are actually not that hard to deal with, but they will destroy your canisters, so you really need to watch out for those. And the last, if you have 3 canisters or more, the bursts that may happen are sudden radiation spike, which will make you unable to revive allies and will make you less accurate for a short amount of time, and another burp which just increases the amount of damage enemies deal. I also want to give you a few tips from my experience. One is that the enemies will mostly attack you and not the canister. There will be some melee enemies, specifically melee, not shooting ones, that will attack the canister. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. The second tip is that if you are looking for toroids, you should really go and search for this fracture. It might be there, it might not, but you will get quite a lot of toroids because of it. I don't know why, but D just wanted 1 fracture here, so take advantage of it. And the last tip, Thermia fractures are actually one of the best ways to rank up your Necromech. That's actually it about the Thermia fractures and the diluted Thermia. But now let's talk about the score system and the event as a whole. The system is pretty basic. The amount of points you will get is dependent on how many Thermia fractures you close and how many diluted Thermias you get. A closure of a fracture will give you 1 point and 1 diluted Thermia will give you 3 points. I'm not sure if doubling the diluted Thermia with the resource booster works, but yeah, let me know down in the comments. So let me give you 2 examples. If you close 4 fractures with 1 coolant canister, you will get 4 points for fractures and 3 for the diluted Thermia. And if you close 4 fractures with 4 coolant canisters, you will get 4 points for fractures plus 12 for the diluted Thermia. That is actually it for the score system. I myself do the fractures most of the time solo, since there is not many squads that want to do them. I get 4 coolant canisters and bring them to the fracture and then insert them at the same time. It is quite easy to do since there is not many enemies, but you really need to watch out if you are still lower level. The first reward at 5 points is the Operation Buried Depths emblem. You know, quite nice looking, but for real, who cares, it's just an emblem. The second reward at 25 points are 2 mods, Amalgam Shotgun Spaz and Amalgam Serration. The mods are, in my opinion, not that good, but they do help you to revive friends a lot faster and get a bit more heavy frame to extraction a bit quicker. These 2 mods are, in my opinion, more of a helping a newer player that gets down a lot, so they do have their use. The third rewards at 50 points are Amalgam Barrel Diffusion and Amalgam Organ Shatter, 2 mods which I use quite a lot in my arsenal, making you a bit more agile on the battlefield and quicker to hit heavy attacks. The fourth reward at 75 points is the Operation Buried Depths Sigil. Again, it's just a sigil. No one really cares. And for the last, 5th reward is the Opticore Vandal, a heavy and quick hitter. I myself never used it that much, but damn it is good. It is also good to point out that it will come with a free Orokin catalyst installed and also a free weapon slot, so yeah, no plat to waste and have a solid weapon. Okay, now, that for real is it. If you have any questions, be sure to ask me down in the comments. Also, if you have any suggestions, write them down in the comments. I read every single one of them, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, dislike, whatever, and have a nice day. Bye, guys.